Thanks for staying with us. So, a celebrity or reality TV star, Babarinde Akinola Dasilva, was popularly known as Leo Dasilva, posted via his Twitter handle saying that if you're dating someone that has never traveled abroad and they eventually do, there's every possibility your relationship is over immediately that they travel. Now, do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your? There's also been the factor of long distance. You know, that's a major issue. I have a few friends who have complained the fact that they're away from their spouse, you know, and when they eventually travel, they feel like they've become strangers. So maybe they were apart for 5 years while the other person is trying to settle down. Eventually, when they do move with them, there's a lot of culture change, there's a lot of adjustment that has to be done, and there are a lot of expectations. People find it difficult to reintegrate themselves or to reintegrate the love and their connection that they had when they were together, when they do finally come together abroad. This is our new reality. As much as we like to pretend it's not happening, every single person you know has somebody that recently relocated or is struggling or is starting over somewhere else or have left everything they're doing here, they move. So it's our reality. We have loved ones and friends who are having these issues, and it's a conversation that is worth having at this time. You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-390-7694. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read your tweets. So based on this tweet, his own is about when you marry somebody that haven't really traveled before. The moment you travel, realities change, mentalities change, thinking changes, and there's a possibility that you might fall apart. That's one angle. The other angle is managing long distance disconnection and then eventually moving with the person and still struggling. Many people have found that they had to break up because they just realized that it's not working. Dynamics that started your relationship in Nigeria is totally different when you finally move abroad. I think one of our callers this week also alluded to that. So what are your thoughts on this change of environment, change of mentality, change of thinking, and adjusting to the new lifestyle when you leave Nigeria?
So I think exposure is a big deal. There are things that people will take that when they realize or they know more, they won't take it anymore. There are things that we see as normal here that are very abnormal in normal societies. There are ways women are treated here that it doesn't happen in other places. So if someone has lived in Nigeria all their life to a point, had relationships here, and they travel and they see the way other people cherish women, or they see the way another person opens the door, pulls out the chair, ask if they are okay, that exposure makes them question why are they not getting that same treatment. So if that's not their reality here in Nigeria, there might be pressure. I also feel that the tweet by the person is very simplistic and that's not the reality on ground, but I don't know what his personal relationship or what he saw that made him put that comment. Yeah. But I feel that human beings based on exposure change. The more I get exposed to knowledge, the more I read books, the more my thirst and quest for life changes, the more my confidence changes and I'm expected to be treated in a better way. And I think that is a good thing, not a bad thing. And the comment was sort of like connoting that it's a bad thing if they travel, they not come back and they're like expecting the relationship is over. No. They should ask for more. And if they deserve it, they should get it.
Let me come to you, Mary. Your thoughts. What exactly is more? I like what you said, but how do you think that changes when somebody travels and comes back or goes back and meets somebody? How does that affect the relationship?
You know, I don't even know how that would affect the relationship because personally, I would not see that affecting me in any way. But I have to say that I read some of the comments and, you know, sometimes perspectives, it opens your mind up to possibilities. So one of the comments I read was that, especially for girls, when you travel, by the time you come back, that there's this new look. You are now a...
Jaded.
Yeah. You're now, gendered or Yankeed person. So now you're on a different level. And when you're now on a different level, this your local Nigerian guy is not it. So you come back maybe with an accent or two, and maybe you've met a few friends over there and they've come back to Nigeria with you. So maybe that is what people are talking about, that it opens that person up to new experiences, which is what Toko has said, opens you up to new experiences, maybe new friendships, and then you find that maybe what was common between you and your relationship before isn't there anymore. But I don't think just by going abroad, it's enough to just break a relationship. I think that sometimes when you are away, so now I'm going into that your long distance relationship thing as well. Sometimes when you're away from a situation, you have a better sense of what you're in, you know, or a better sense of what you need from your partner. And I see that people, when they are in the relationship, you find outside people telling you some things that you don't see. You don't even understand what they're talking about. But then when you take a step back, you're like, oh, is this what people are saying? So I can see that happening, but that does not necessarily involve you having to travel out to do that.
Because I know that a lot of people that watch movies, they have friends, and they feel like that in itself. Because I know a few people that have never traveled, but they're more exposed than a lot of people that I know that travel, because they've been able to intentionally open their minds up. But what is it about this traveling that people feel like, say, I want to travel like this, or you are the changed person? Is it the air? Is it what exactly is it that just makes you a totally different person once you leave Nigeria and come back?
I think sometimes when people are poor, they are not living their authentic life in a way that they have to make do with the relationship, or make do with the friendship, or make do with the environment, because that's all they have and that's all they can afford at the time. Now, when they travel, it changes, because now they have an array of options. They now realize that, this person's accent I no longer like. I've seen a better accent. This person, the way she dresses, I no longer like. I've seen a better person, you know, and that changes. But I've seen people who, they are used to that aspect of life. They don't break up their relationship because all of a sudden they travel. They travel all the time. So it's not like I'm going to become a new person if I now find myself in Japan. I'm a new person every day. As I wake up, I'm a new person. And so they go through life like that. But I've seen people who actually did enjoy distance relationship, and they dated for years before they finally got married, and nothing happened. As a matter of fact, there was a question we're asking ourselves, like, would you prefer that you have a husband who travels and comes back once in a while, and or would you prefer somebody who just stays home? Two of you see each other back to back every morning, every night, you quarrel and all of that. And some of the ladies I spoke to said they prefer the husband to be traveling and be coming, so that we see once in a while. That time, that period that we see, the love is sweet. I've missed you, you've missed me. There's no room to quarrel. And before it's time to start quarreling and start getting used to ourselves again, it's time for you to carry your bag and go back to work, you know. And that relationship lasts. I had a family friend at the time in Alakoko whose husband never stayed with me. I think he was offshore. So he would come once in 6 months, and the relationship would be sweet. He would buy all the goodies, and then before we say Jack, he has gone back to work. And they lived for years. The time the job stopped, that he stayed at home for 2 years, two of them were like, you see this marriage, we can't do it. Carry your bag, I carry my bag. Like, they realized that they didn't even know each other that deeply. And it was now like we had to start learning and relearning, but they were able to still make it work, because of course it wasn't some very heavy problems. But there's something I want us to take out of this relationship, which is people have their different personality types. Some personality types want that close-knit, huggy kind of relationship. I see you, I breathe into your nose, you breathe into my nose. Some personality types need their space. And so if you have to do a long distance relation, you need to ask yourself, am I the type that needs my space from time to time? If you actually do, your relationship will work out. Make sure your partner is on the same page with you. But if you're not that type, there's no point holding on to a distant relationship before you realize that somebody else is dating somebody, and, you know, we're just...
Okay, so I'm going to go on a break. There's a dynamic I want us to add to this, because I think it was a caller during the week that said something about somebody coming in from Nigeria. The man was in the UK. He traveled to Nigeria to bring in a bride who came in, and then the lady later found out that I am better than this, you know, and they were having that fiction. They ended up parting ways, but these are some of the realities many of our people are facing at this time with this new jackpot dynamic. We need to really discuss it and unpack it properly. Stay with us, we'll be right back.